Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to King's Quest 6 Heir Today, Gone Tomorrow. So now that I've shown off the short path, we'll now complete the long path. So we have all of our ingredients for the lamp. And the reason that we need that is because of, and we've already enchanted it. Actually, I didn't enchant it because I had to redo a part. I forgot to do that. Let me go and do that.
Alexander.
Cloud.
And we need this in order to go back onto the Isle of the Mists, because otherwise the druids will kill us. But with this, they won't.
The lamp in Alexander.
Yeah, we've already heard it before.
Al
Anyways, we'll go back to the Isle of the Mists.
Alexander.
Great gods! Did you see that? The man just appeared from nowhere.
Perhaps he was sent by the spirits. I see no boat.
He is an intruder, no matter how he got here. Grab him!
Not again. Look, I'll leave. It's no problem.
I think not. Let's go.
Alexander is frozen at the spectacle before him. Robed figures are gathered around a bonfire. Some mystical ceremony is taking place, but as to its purpose, Alexander has no clue.
We found a trespasser on the beach, Archdruid.
Uh-oh. Archdruid. Now what has Alexander wandered into?
This must be the foreigner we were warned about. How appropriate that he should come during our rain festival. Place him in the sacrificial cage.
Wait! I must rescue the princess!
There's an ancient druid saying, a man who would save others must first save himself.
Alexander is pushed into the confining wicker cage. And the cage is swung out over the bonfire. Alexander starts to feel a little warm. The bottom of the cage is getting uncomfortably hot. This cage is really hot. Fire in the cage. Alexander pulls out Beauty's old slave clothes, desperate to beat out the flames. The flame is extinguished, but the clothes themselves burn to cinders. Alexander won't be able to keep the cage from igniting for long.
Because of this, you can no longer go on the short path.
The heat and movement must have jarred something. Something that Alexander's carrying is starting to jiggle around. Egad, something's really percolating. The water in Alexander's lamp is hot. It's just about boiling. Alexander feels a drop. It starts to rain.
That man is a powerful nature wizard. By the sacred oak, let him down! I must apologize for our rude welcoming committee. We've been feeling inhospitable ever since the winged ones stole our sacred miniature oak tree. Besides, Wazir Al-Hazred sent a message that we were to watch out for a highly dangerous foreign assassin. I assume you are the one he meant.
I'm sure I'm precisely who he meant. I assure you, I mean to harm no one, unless that person threatens the princess. I'm sorry to have disrupted your ceremony, but I'm running out of time.
What is it that you seek?
The Oracle on the Isle of the Sacred Mountain told me I should speak to you about the realm of the dead. She told me of 2 souls in unrest there that I might be able to free.
Free souls in the realm of the dead? You're mad.
The souls might be able to help me on my mission to save the princess. It's imperative that I do everything I can. The risks are not important.
No. And yet getting yourself killed will hardly help the princess. But I will tell you what I know. Legend has it that it is the right of any human to challenge the Lord of the Dead in order to save his own life or the life of another already past. But the knowledge of how to do this was lost centuries ago. I have only heard of one who tried it, a young knight who came to the land of the Green Isles from a distant land long ago. According to the story, he was determined to challenge the Lord of the Dead for the soul of his dead lover. It is said that he tamed the Lord of the Dead's horse, a black-winged, demon-hearted beast named Nightmare. Nightmare sometimes flies to the human world to feed on certain noxious plants. Those unfortunate enough to see her are glad to escape with their very souls intact. Somehow the knight captured Nightmare and rode off on her back, supposedly to the realm of the dead. But neither the knight nor his lover ever returned. If there was a means for challenge, it was lost with the night.
I see. Can you tell me anything about the Lord of the Dead?
Ah, that is a blacker matter still. To the Druids, he is Samhain, Lord of Coldness and Despair. Samhain was once a man like you or I, but he insulted the gods and was sentenced to rule the underworld. Immortal he is and mateless, robbed of sleep, robbed of movement, robbed of companionship. It is said that he hates all mortals even more for the mortality that he lost. That is all I know.
Interesting. I shall remember.
Now look how the oak embers of our bonfire still glow hot despite the rain. If you're bent on your course, you'll need courage that's just as impervious to the chill. May your luck last longer than your storm, brave one.
May it indeed. Thank you, Archdruid.
Alright, so we now are going to head to the Realm of the Dead. And this is where the enchanting, or the... forget what the spell's called. The, charming a creature of the night spell comes into play, because that's exactly what we need to do. So with our skull, we'll pick up the hot embers.
Alexander scoops up some of the red-hot embers in the ancient human skull.
And now it's the coolest sprite in the game. I really like that. And now we will put the sulfur in there, which is the rotten egg.
Alexander cracks the spoiled egg and dumps it into the skull containing the embers. The spoiled egg hisses as it makes contact with the hot embers. Zounds, the steam. Phew, the smell of sulfur.
And now we'll put the maiden's hair in there.
Alexander puts the strand of hair into the skull containing the embers and the spoiled egg.
And now, now it's ready to go. We just need to speak the incantation. So, the Archdruid, I think, said that, the, Nightmare, feasts on, noxious, plants, so... We do know where one is, which is at the top of the Sacred Mountain, so we shall head up. And there, Nightmare
Alexander
is.
arrives at the top of the cliffs, somewhat winded after his long but uneventful climb. A mighty winged horse, the color of midnight, is feeding from the nightshade bush. The creature must be Nightmare, the one the druid spoke about.
So we shall use our spell.
Alexander solemnly speaks the incantation over the skull.
Creature of night, to me succumb. Fire and brimstone leave thee numb. Purity bind thee like a chain, to do whate'er I now ordain.
Nightmare flares her nostrils at the scent of the fire and brimstone.
That's it! Come on! I need passage to your homeland, fiery one.
Unable to resist the power of the enchanted smell, Nightmare approaches Alexander. Her eyes appear glassy and sightless. In her hypnotized state, she is unaware of the humans so close to her flank, or of anything at all except that marvelous smell.
Now ride!
Nightmare deposits Alexander on a strange, cold world. And some of the inhabitants don't look too friendly.
Oh man, how spooky.
Alexander is standing on the surface of the realm of the dead. The barren, surreal landscape is cold and gray. Twisted shapes loom on the horizon. The surface is haunted by the ghoulish shapes of the undead and by the chained, tormented spirits of mortals unable to rest in peace. Restless spirits are bound to the surface of the underworld. Chained by earthly cares, they are unable to go below. These two spirits wander together. The spirit of a beautiful and noble-looking woman floats silently alongside that of a desperate-looking man.
Well, if you remember the portrait that we saw earlier, this must be Casima's parents. So we shall talk to them.
Who are you, grieving spirits?
I am Queen Ilaria of the land of the Green Isles, and this beloved spirit is my husband, King Caliphan. We were murdered in our beds by our trusted vizier. Like a viper, he snuck in during the night and stabbed us in our sleep. Now my husband's soul is broken, and he will not speak.
Then you are the ones I seek. Are you not the parents of Princess Casima?
Our daughter! Have you news of the princess?
I know that she is alive and safely back in her kingdom after being rescued from Mordak. But I'm afraid I have not personally seen her. Alhazred is keeping her in her room in mourning for you.
I am glad to hear of her return, but she will not be safe alone with that devil. Oh, that we could be there to protect her.
Casima, how I fail thee.
My poor husband will never rest while our murder goes unavenged and our daughter is in danger.
I came to take you back with me. Your people are still loyal to you. They need to know about the Wazir. Casima needs you too.
But this is the realm of the dead. We cannot leave it. Nor, for that matter, can you. The only one who might be able to return us all to the land of the living is the Lord of the Dead. But he would never help us. He has no mercy.
I might be able to convince him. I must try.
Then take this. It is my ticket to the underworld. There you will find the Lord of the Dead. I cannot use the ticket as long as I'm chained here. And if we cannot be avenged, I will never be unchained.
Thank you. Perhaps it will save us all.
Be careful, young man. If you can ease my husband's torment and help our daughter, We will be most grateful.
I will do my best. Goodbye, Queen Ilaria.
Uh-oh.
I
One
touched
of
the
the
zombie.
wandering
God, I
ghouls
fucking
brushes
knew.
up against Alexander. The touch of the putrid flesh dissolves the living matter like acid.
I fucking knew that would happen as soon as he fucking walked up. This game.
Tickets up. Next.
Alexander's mother...
Okay, so we're just gonna talk to him immediately so I don't get fucked. And I can just hold enter
Who
and
are-
just spam right through it.
Be-
That's fine. And we can just walk past them. Come on.
The spirit of a woman hangs like a puff of smoke in the air. She is weeping and appears to be very distressed about something.
Well, we should better talk to her.
Why do you not rest, sad spirit?
Rest? I cannot rest. My son is lost.
Lost? You mean in this realm?
No. His spirit is stuck in the land of the living, probably looking for me. But I cannot leave to go show him the way. My poor Ali.
Is there anything I can do?
Take this handkerchief. If you get back to the land of the living and find him, tell him that his mother is waiting for him here. By this kiss, he'll be able to find his way to the realm of the dead.
I'll do my best to find him.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, my Ali.
Alright, with that, we will head down. And we'll head up here, and oh my god, we died.
The skeleton to the left of the path hands something to the spirits that approach the underworld entrance.
Ticket, please. Next.
And yes, we actually get to visit this part of the game while we're still alive. And we can't actually die on the screen, which is, I mean, that would be funny if you could, though.
Might I get one of those tickets?
The skeleton with the tickets must not approve of Alexander's less than ghostly looks. He refuses to give him a pass.
And as you can see on the keychain right there,
A strange skeleton with a long horse-like head and ceremonial armor stands at the base of the path to the underworld. He watches over new arrivals with a discerning eye, handing tickets to the spirits desiring admittance. A large bone keyring hangs from his waist.
so he has a skeleton key, and as we know, skeleton keys can be quite useful. And we also see this over here.
A group of large bones form an interesting arrangement to the right of the path. Two smaller bones are propped up on the ground near the larger group.
So, we can actually use this as an instrument.
Alexander picks up the two bones on the ground. Now, what do these bones remind him of?
Ah, yes. Now I remember.
The skeletons are overcome with the musical call of the bones. They begin to jiggle, then to dance. Alexander finishes his tune, and the skeletons resume their posts. Despite their frolic, they don't seem any friendlier.
And in that, he dropped his key.
Alexander picks up the skeleton key.
And yes, if you die again, you won't have his key, so, nice little attention to detail. Now, obviously, we can get past here because she gave us the
ghostly ticket reads, Admit 1.
admittance ticket, so we'll give it to the skeleton.
I have a ticket.
Oh, on. Next.
Now we're past that door. And, as you can see, here's that knight that I think, either the queen or the druids were talking about. I've kind of forgot. Oh well. You can look at it.
Apparently, Alexander's not the only one who's curious about the body on the path. A knight's remains lie abandoned on the path. The knight, like Alexander, must have been alive when he entered the underworld, but for some reason he never reached his destination. Alexander wonders if this is the knight the druids spoke of.
Yeah, the druids. And all we can take from here is the gauntlet, which we will need.
Alexander takes the knight's black gauntlet and examines the writing on it. Flesh may cross the portal and seek its master, death. Flesh may go where death is trod, and challenge, like Scheherazade, he who reigns beneath the sod, to spare a mortal's breath. Zounds, that sounds serious.
And now, yeah, we shall continue heading on the path. And now we're at the River Styx.
Charon's boat is an unearthly vessel. It bears a huge skeletal prow for slicing through the river Styx.
And remember that one of our ingredients is River Styx water, so...
Alexander doesn't want to experiment with the organic surfaces of the underworld. They might not like it.
There we go, fucking
Alexander scoops a little of the river Styx into the teacup with the swamp ooze, being careful not to get any of the black water on his skin.
And we'll finish with that later, because we cannot do anything with it yet. And we will get on the boat.
I must see the Lord of the Dead. Please, let me ride across the River Styx on the ferry.
Charon apparently has rules as strict as those of the skeletons at the underworld's entrance. Alexander is not getting on that boat until he gives Charon the appropriate fare.
Well, luckily, we got the funeral coins back in the catacombs, so we can easily just give that to him.
Will these coins do as fare for passage?
Charon accepts the fare and waves Alexander onto the boat.
And we're very close. All there is left is a door in the way. And of course, we can just open that.
Alexander reaches out to open the gate. Suddenly, the wood trembles beneath his fingertips.
How scary.
What touch has awakened my sleep? I smell the blood of a mortal. Reach out thine hand again, fleshy human, that I might devour it.
I don't
It
think
has
I
been
will.
centuries since I last ate.
I don't think I will, sir.
Despite his fear, Alexander summons his bravest voice to command the living gate.
I would pass, Gate. I have business with your master.
My master and thine, human. I would be pleased to introduce thee. Only step forward and thou shalt meet him shortly.
No, thank you. I come to meet the Lord of the Dead with my flesh still intact.
And why should I let you past, human, when I would much rather eat you?
I have been told that there is a way for humans to enter Death's realm. There must be something I can do. Some task that will allow me to pass through your doors, Gate.
I seem to recall something. A trick. Perhaps, a test. Yes. Should a human try to pass, a riddle is Gates' wont to ask.
A riddle it is, then.
And if thou wouldst fail to answer Gate, his thirsty jaws will be thy fate.
Agreed.
Listen as though it meant thy life then, human, for it surely does. My first is foremost legally. My second circles outwardly. My third leads all in victory. My fourth twice ends a nominee. My whole is this gate's only key.
My first is foremost legally. My second circles outwardly. My third leads all in victory. My fourth twice ends a nominee. My whole is this gate's only key.
So this is also hinted at when we got the rare, that rare book when we needed to grab the spell book. And that gave us the answer back then, but you can still solve this. So my first is foremost legally, that is L. My second circles outwardly, O. My third leaves on victory, V. And my fourth twice ends a nominee, which is E. And again, this is hinted at in the rare book that we got, and the love thing that we got from the spider. So
The answer is love.
Ah, thou traitor of the mortal plane! How didst thou guess love? That riddle should never have been solved. Love is unknown in this realm.
Love cannot be banished, even from this place. There are spirits still pining of it on the surface above. Still less can it be banished from my heart.
Enough! Burden me not with thy poetry. Pass through, and quickly, before I change my mind.
and now we can go through and meet death itself.
In the center of the great cavern, the Lord of the Dead reigns over the hosts of the dead. He waves spirits into the sea of souls in an endless stream. What things the spirits tell him are best unheard by mortal ears. The Lord of the Dead's throne is surrounded by the sea of souls. The living sea swirls with the spirits of those who once walked the mortal realm. What awaits them, Alexander cannot know. Alexander approaches the throne of the Lord of the Dead.
Why have you entered my domain, still wearing your flesh? If you are so anxious for death, you might have found it easily enough in the land of the living. But since you are here, you are most welcome to stay. Kiss my hand, and you will be one with the spirits. There will be no pain.
Well, obviously, we did not come here for that, so we should drop the gauntlet.
I did not come here to die, but to demand my right of challenge. I respectfully challenge thee, death, by throwing down this gauntlet. Man may pass the portal and seek its master, death. Man may pass where death has trod and challenge like Scheherazade, he who reigns beneath the sod, to spare a mortal's breath.
He has the gauntlet!
Impossible! He challenges death. Who are you to challenge death?
A man of flesh is all I need to be, my lord.
And what is it that you seek with this challenge? The soul of some dead maiden?
I seek the souls of King Califim and Queen Ilaria of the land of the Green Isles.
You would save 2 human souls and emerge alive from this realm yourself? That shall be a difficult challenge indeed. The tomb does not open its doors lightly.
Either all 3 of us leave, or none go.
Very well. Then let me think of an appropriate task. Ah, yes, I have it now. Your challenge is this. For thousands of years I have sat upon this throne. I have heard every sad tale that can be told by human lips. I have seen tragedies that ended empires, injustices that defy reason, love that would light the very stars turn cold and hard. I have seen torments that cannot possibly be borne, and yet must be, for centuries. This thing I have never done. I have never shed a tear. Make me cry, thou man of flesh. That is my challenge.
Make death cry?
Sooner could he turn sea to stone, or fire to ice.
And so, we must make death cry, but how do we do that? Well, there is one truly painful thing that we have in our inventory, which is truth itself.
If your existence has been all that you say it has, then truth alone shall be my sword.
The mirror's surface swirls with darkness for a moment, then fills with images even blacker. Reflections of despair, of wailing souls, of shackles colder and more immutable than any forged by man, of a world of thirsts that can never be quenched. Alexander feels the mirror tremble in his grasp, and is glad that he cannot see its face. But the Lord of the Dead is transfixed to the mirror, to the screening of his life. Things long forgotten are once more uncovered. His enslavement to this throne while still a man, the years of watching misery and horror and growing ever more numb to it, the seep of his own humanity, the slow growth of a new thing altogether which became that which he is now. His is an existence that has no possibility of redemption, no end. The surrounding spirits draw away in pain. The truth is so sharp it stabs, so intense it sears.
Take it away. Make it stop.
The mirror of truth cracks from the strain, and death sheds a single gray tear.
Truth is indeed a terrible thing. I have worn this mantle for so long, I had forgotten its dreadful weight. You shall take the souls and leave as I agreed. You have been granted a stay from this inevitable reality. I almost envy you. Find the souls he has claimed, and bring them to me. King Califim and Queen Ilaria, I presume. Your hero has won you a few more years of mortality. May your souls be more prepared for their rest when you return.
Thank you, my lord. I hope that they will.
And you, man of flesh, my steed shall take the three of you back to the land of the living. Tell her where it is you wish to go. Until we meet again, then, I assure you, we will meet again.
No offense, my lord, but I hope that will be many long years from now.
It is never as long as you might wish, mortal. Now, begone.
Yes, my lord.
That part is simply the most absolute epic part of this entire series. Nothing even fucking comes close.
Are you coming, Majesty?
Alhazred's treachery must be handled carefully, Alexander. Alari and I must go gather our allies and form a plan. Watch over Casima. Make sure she comes to no harm. We will return as soon as we can to take back all that has been stolen from us.
I will keep her safe until your return.
Thank you, son. Your love for our daughter must be deep indeed for you to have undertaken death itself for our sakes.
Indeed. May we succeed in what awaits us, and live long together as a family.
And with that, we'll end the part here. And next time, we will finish the game once and for all. So, I will see you sometime later. Bye. Also, finally, an episode under 40 minutes, finally.